the whole goal here today was some of the information I'm going to be sharing with you. Stick around to the end. We'll be doing a little meditation to support you guys going a little bit deeper with all this stuff. I guess my Facebook didn't go live. Boom, there we go. Welcome, John. Great to have you, my friend. Welcome, Mo. But let's get into this PowerPoint presentation. Can you guys see my screen? Give me a thumbs up. You can see it. Excellent, excellent. So, boom, we'll get into this right away. So, Wu Wei and the art of effortless living. Okay, and just a reminder, Nicholas, please let people in as they come on to the calls. I know we got a few stragglers, but Wu Wei and the art of effortless living. So essentially what we're going to get into today was called Fasting the Mind, Taoism, Wu Wei, Samskaras, and how to achieve what's called flow state or Wu Wei. And that's the essence of this teaching. That's really the best way to explain this. It's all about connecting with your essence. Okay, it's essentially the space deep within your belly. It's your lower dantian. Now, what is Wu Wei? Okay, the key concept in philosophy of Taoism, it's the heart of living a Taoist lifestyle. What I always say to oversimplify Taoist philosophy is living in harmony with nature. If you look at the world today, a lot of us have disconnected from nature. And the roots of Taoism is about returning to our inner nature. And that's why I love teaching this stuff. I do these calls for free every week because I want to teach you guys how to embody this wisdom. We need it now more than ever. So essentially, this is the part that's a strange paradox. It is non-doing or doing nothing, also known as non-action. And this allows you to access what's called a quantum state of mind. There's this great book called The Tao of Physics. And actually, in the last few days, I read this great book called The Tao of Wu, which was written by RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan. It was actually a really good book, read it in 4 days. And so there's this book that he's premising this off of, The Tao of Physics. And essentially, ancient mystics already knew what modern quantum psychology is teaching today. And then in 2 months from now, we'll be getting into quantum psychology, by the way. Each month we have a new topic here and we go deeper into each subject. But the whole goal here is when you're in a quantum state of mind, you are basically operating from Wu Wei. All right, it's this quantum state of mind. Even in my book that I published, the first chapter is quantum thinking, is we have to access this quantum state of mind if we're going to progress and grow, because it creates limitless possibilities. Now in the West, this is also known as flow state. If you've ever seen like someone who's just like an amazing artist and they can just pop things out, or like someone who's playing basketball, like Michael Jordan in his prime, he's in flow state, or a musician who's just jamming, they become like one with the guitar. This is essentially the way you want to live your life. It's almost like you're not doing anything, you're so in flow. And there's a way to actually cultivate that in your day-to-day life. It's known as moving through life in tune or in harmony with nature, with the inner nature of the mind, appearing effortless, as I mentioned, like a musician, painter, or an athlete at peak performance. Now, this comes from this book. I actually forgot to bring it with me on my trip, so I was like packed to the brim. Fasting the Mind, Spiritual Exercises for Psychic Detox by Jason Gregory. So a lot of my presentations are based upon amazing books. And I take like really thick books. This isn't a very thick book, but I take really thick books and I like make all these tabs and I create these presentations because I really believe the best way to change the world, we're not going to vote and pray our way out of these problems. We have to actually gain true knowledge, true wisdom. And we actually learn how to apply knowledge to our lives. That's when we create wisdom. And that's the essence of true healing, is applying this wisdom that we're teaching in this academy. So how does one actually live Wu Wei? How does one actually live Wu Wei? If you have any questions or comments, please save them for the end. But if you have a burning question, please feel free to chime in. Now, how does one live Wu Wei? Okay, it's calming your mind, and specifically calming your nervous system. And this means allowing your mind and your body, like water, to settle so you can see things as they truly are. Let me say that again, so you can see things as they truly are. When our minds are busy, that's like water that's like just moving all the time. One of my favorite quotes that I use all the time with my clients, and I use myself, is let the muddy water settle. Let the muddy water settle. As that muddy water settles, that's when you get clarity on what the next action is to take in your life. And essentially what this means is real wisdom can only be born from an empty mind. Okay, our ego becomes so overfilled. It's only when we actually take a cup and we empty that cup that you will actually be able to see the essence of what is necessary, right? It's like the key thing here is that the space is where we experience life. And if our cup is full, we cannot experience life to its fullest. So it's like somebody's like pouring into a cup, and they keep pouring into the cup, and they keep pouring into the cup, and it's just overflowing and overflowing and overflowing. And maybe at some period in your life that might be a positive thing, but there comes a point where, like, if you're doing that, it's like your nervous system is overloaded, and nothing new is getting in. And this is actually limiting you because you haven't emptied that cup. And so, hey, Nicholas, can you let Jennifer in, by the way? And so this cup is essentially like your nervous system. When you empty your cup, it's like when you learn how to create this deep, inner, relaxed flow state, and you will be much more in Wu Wei with your day-to-day life. So let's keep going here. So focus on emptying your cup, because when our cup is full, we've essentially lost our awareness of the Tao. And essentially, we've lost our connection to nature. And so the key thing to come back to is, like, when you look at your cup, okay, right? When we look at a cup, what is more valuable? The cup or the space within the cup? Much like a house, is the house valuable or the space within it? So it's like you could have all this stuff, but it's really the space within it. And this comes back to your nervous system. When your nervous system is so filled with information and overloaded, like most of us today, including myself, this limits our experience of truly, authentically being in tune with the Tao or our inner nature. A lot of you guys may have already studied some of these concepts. The key thing here is to bridge this stuff together. We're going to go much deeper into the subject. But if you take anything away from today's presentation, how can you empty your cup? When you empty your cup, that's when you begin to access flow state. You're not clinging. You're not like looking for solutions. You allow things to actually flow to you. Now, what essentially is the Tao? We touched on this just briefly. The Tao is both named and nameless. It is the origin of all things. The Tao does nothing, but leaves nothing undone. Nicholas, can you let Denise in the room? And essentially what this means, like I would like to say the word God and the word Tao are essentially both three-letter words. The God is above, the Tao is below. We want to bring those two essences within ourselves. That's essentially the yin and yang nature, right? So when we create that harmony, that's when we begin to access the Tao, living in unity with all things, in dancing with each moment with ease. It's like when we're too rigid, when we're too much into our yang energy, we're not in that flow state. And we'll get getting deeper into that today. Another way of looking at this is not seeking an end. It's being here in the eternal now that is present and pervades all things in this moment. It's not forming. It's not forcing and formless. It's essentially this divine emptiness. Like I said, if you take one thing away from this presentation, how can you empty your cup? And that's calming down that nervous system. When your nervous system is calm, it allows new things to arrive for you. Another way of looking at this, as I mentioned, it's like Father Sky, Mother Earth, bringing them together. It's heaven and earth, yin and yang. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Boom. So how one should strive to live flowing effortlessly with the oneness that is Wu Wei. Okay, it's essentially, as I mentioned, flow state that we're talking about here. Now, living Wu Wei actually heals the mind and body. This is the main reason why we created the Alchemy Healing Academy, because years ago, long story short, I was in a very dark space. Western medicine failed me, and I went into studying the Eastern healing arts, got certified as a quantum healer, published my own book on shadow work, and it saved my life. And that's why I'm doing these presentations, to teach this wisdom to more people. Some of you on this call are already working with me, or we've met at retreats and whatnot. And I'm so grateful to be passing this wisdom on and breaking it down simply for each and every one of you. But the key point here, living Wu Wei heals the mind and the body. Our society, this is like the issue, the problem that we're struggling with. Our society lives in constant stress, anxiety, depression, and chronic fatigue, which are running rampant. And it's become essentially an unconscious addiction, the unconscious having to do with shadow work. We take prescription drugs, which only suppress the symptoms without addressing the root causes. And the drugs only deal with the effects. It's the cause and the effect. Most of Western medicine is only dealing with the effects. As I mentioned years ago, I was in a dark space, going to doctors, therapists, chiropractors, osteopaths, you name it. Nothing was working, because everything I was doing was dealing with the effects of this back pain. It wasn't until I got to the root cause, which is the emotional pain, that I was able to let that stuff go. And that's a key word, is letting that go and emptying my own cup. Now, by living Wu Wei, we balance out our feminine yin and our masculine yang nature, which in turn allows, and that's a key word, allows our nervous system to calm down. Truly priceless. It allows our nervous system to totally calm down. This calming of our nervous system is essentially, as I mentioned earlier, it's emptying your cup, which heals our body from within and allows the space to create the life we deserve. If your cup's overflowing and there's so much movement, so much yang energy, masculine energy, and there's nothing wrong with masculine energy, there's no time to empty your cup and just see this beautiful space that you hold within yourself. That is the essence of healing, emptying that cup and embodying that divine feminine energy, that divine presence that we all hold innately within ourselves. And it's a harmony between those yin and yang natures. Now, you guys might think there's a war going on over in Iran or whatever, but the real war is actually happening in our nervous systems. We're all co-creating everything that's going on in the world today. Now, what happens is by not allowing the time, I always say, when you've really done your inner work, you no longer see the world as time, you see the word time backwards because it's emit. It's really all just energy. So by not allowing time to empty your cup and heal, we essentially wage an internal war on our bodies and minds without proper rest. And this deeply affects our sympathetic nervous system. And when we deplete our nervous system, we increase chances of psychological and physiological disease. Our minds begin to crack from the constant sustained stress. This is why it's key to understand, how do I regulate my nervous system? Is a hot topic in the world today because we're overstimulated. Like, there's so much technology in the world, that's not a bad thing. When you're constantly overstimulated, your nervous system never has time to slow down. And that comes back to the space where we empty that cup that we keep talking about. Now, this is when our cups begin to overflow because our nervous system is so jacked up, making it difficult to heal. And our actions can even begin to become unconscious. Our actions literally become unconscious. This programs our autonomic nervous system to be primed for fight or flight mode and can keep us actually stuck, where we can even get hormonally addicted to our suffering. Hormonally addicted to our suffering. This comes from the topic for this month, 5-element theory, and this term called maladaptation, your inability to adapt to stress. When you are not in flow state, you are not able to adapt to stress because of the allostatic load and the increased cortisol levels that are happening within your body. This is why understanding this war on the nervous system quite literally could save your life. This is the root cause of what's causing so much psychological and physiological disease. My whole premise, you guys, is the best way out of the problems we have in the world is educating people. That's why we created this academy. That's why we created this community. We also did 2 retreats last year. So if you want to get more involved, please let me know. We want to get more people involved with the community doing the healing work. Now, how does one actually live Wu Wei? Except my drink. Now, by realizing the Tao in your everyday life experience. Realizing the Tao in your everyday life experience. It's being in the world, but not of it. Zhuangzi, amazing philosopher of Taoism. And by merging oneself with nature or the heavens, by merging oneself with the Tao or the underlying unity that connects all things in the universe. This is where I love this also relates deeply to natural law and what's called the 7 Hermetic Principles, which we also teach in this academy as well. As I mentioned, each month we have a different topic and we dive super deep. This month and next month is all 5-element theory. And all next month is the 5 spirits of alchemy, super deep subject on spiritual healing. Now, this is accomplished, living Wu Wei, by fasting the mind, learning how to just imagine your mind's like that cup. You can empty your cup at any time. We're going to show you guys a very specific meditation today that's going to show you how to do it. It's called central channel breathing. Many of you have done it with me before. So let me say it again. This is accomplished by fasting the mind, resting oneself in a deep state of awareness, connecting with nature to ground our body and mind while also opening up our hearts. Such a powerful thing. Often when I meditate, I imagine what the whole world would be like if everybody lived with an open heart. I meditate on that all the time. So let's keep rocking here, you guys. There we go. So what are the barriers to connecting with the Tao or Wu Wei? Well, what's holding you back? What's blocking you? So it's essentially, if you were to simplify it, most people are living in a linear consciousness, past and future. Even Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this. People are not in the present moment. And this comes down to a lot of these ancient teachings, understanding connecting the above and the below. And the more you practice that, like the central channel breathing, which we're going to go over later, you're actually training your nervous system to bring heaven and earth into your being and creating that awareness that we talked about. So essentially what's happening, what's not allowing you to be in this Wu Wei state is your attachment to ourself based upon a linear past, keeping us stuck in samsara or a constant logical analysis of our reality, separating ourselves from it. This can often be a hyper masculine, logical, trying to figure everything out, devoid of emotion, and it drives people completely insane. Just another word that comes from the book is quing, which is facts, emotions, specific essence based on a linear mind. We're constantly basing our current experience on our past, but the past isn't happening right now. We're actually able to be in this moment, divinely connected in this present moment. The past isn't creating depression. The future isn't creating anxiety. We're able to shed those illusions and be fully here in this present moment. What else is happening is that our dualistic mind is discerning between this, that, subjective opinions of right, wrong, good, bad, evil, likes, dislikes. And as I mentioned, the past is our depression, the future is our anxiety. The more we can collapse our energy field into this present moment, this is just like if I work out and I'm building my muscles up, but I can do that with my nervous system by training my mind and body to relax. Another way of looking at this is that our isolated ego mind, okay, we also talk about the Wetiko virus in one of our presentations in this academy. It's our isolated ego mind, believing that it's separate from the universe. Oh my God, you guys, it's all happening to me. I'm so scared. It's all happening to me. It's actually happening for me if I can move into that quantum mind state. And this is what else is also known in Sanskrit as Maya or illusion, okay? Another way of looking at the Latin is matter, matrix, or meter or measure. You're constantly measuring everything like a straight line on a ruler, or trying to figure out, did I do this right? Did I do that right? There's so much anxiety and stress, and you can't be present. You can't be in that flow state. And that is truly priceless. That's why I love teaching all this stuff. Hello, got people tuning in. Welcome on TikTok. So that's what's actually blocking you. And let's go a little bit deeper into what barriers are blocking you from connecting with the Tao and Wu Wei. So powerful concepts here, you guys. Make sure you're taking notes. What happens is we are addicted to being unconscious and unaware of how the emotions of our unconscious energies are affecting us. And oftentimes this is societal programming and our shadow, and often it's conditioning from our families as well, not just societal conditioning. The other part of this is we overstimulate our five senses, numbing ourselves from feelings or emotions that would actually heal us with compassionate awareness. Okay, that's a crucial point, is having compassionate awareness. Now, Alan Watts once said, we are addicted to the dope. We're addicted to the dopamine hits that we are getting, addicted to the dopamine. We crave toxins, food, alcohol, gambling, sex, and stimulus. None of these things, if you have like some food or some alcohol, like a little bit, sure, it's fine. But if you're abusing these things, this is actually what's making you sick. And often it's unconscious ways of being, or what's also known as samskaras, which we're going to get into here in a minute. Samskaras. And what this does, we're actually burning our chi. We're burning up our life force. We're losing our connection to the Tao. We wonder, why are so many people sick? Because we've lost our connection to our soul. Ultimately, everything that we're teaching in this academy is how to bring the soul fully into the body. There's specific teachings, there's specific exercises, meditations that you can do to make that process much easier for you. And that's what we teach in this academy. I love seeing what I call the Shen, the fire come back in people's eyes when they do the work. Now, great quote here from Swami Vivekananda. I actually used to run a healing center out here in Marin County. I'm not in Marin right now, but back where I live. The human soul has sojourned in lower and higher forms, migrating from one to the other according to the samskaras or impressions, but it is only in the highest form as a human being that it attains to freedom. So when we're talking about samskaras in these next couple slides, the key is understanding how your samskaras, and as they relate to shadow work, as I mentioned in my book that I published on shadow work, how those samskaras or your shadow is actually running your life from the unconscious mind. Okay, so as I'm teaching this next part on samskaras, begin to ask yourself, what is holding you back unconsciously? Now, samskara in Sanskrit means mental impression. If you're taking notes, definitely write that down. Samskara in Sanskrit means mental impression. It's like someone took a stamp and stamped it into your subconscious mind, and it's just stuck in there, okay? Or it's a subliminal psychological imprint that are latent within our unconscious mind. So these are the things. This is ancient Sanskrit, you guys. Ancient Sanskrit. Like this goes very deep into like what I just wrote recently. 5 years ago, I wrote this book, right? So mental impression. An example, like a belief: I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy of love. My feelings aren't valid, right? So you have this imprint. Could be from your childhood, could be from a past life, could be from an experience that you had or seeing something on TV, and it creates a mental impression or a samskara. Now, we develop samskaras unknowingly from birth, and they drive our actions, interests, and desires until the day that we die. But often we are unconscious to how these samskaras are actually running our lives. That's why this information is priceless, because you could be walking around almost like a robot unconsciously attracting the same experiences, the same people, and it's driving you nuts. And then you're going to therapy, going to doctors, you're doing all these things, and like they're not working because you're not getting to the root cause creating the effects in your life. And that's where the real change begins to occur, right? Because these samskaras are driving our lives unconsciously. What happens is they influence our reactions to the world, the bodily sensations we feel that drive reactions toward fight or flight mode, or how we identify ourselves. One of the key points that I always talk about in my coaching practices, all change happens at the identity level of our consciousness. So if you're operating unconsciously, how do you think your identity is going to show up? Based upon past traumas and wounds, specifically when you're triggered and this old version of you pops up, and you're still using this old mental impression or roadmap to run your life. Now, these deeply rooted impressions in our psyche affect our ability to heal. This is due to our cultural conditioning and emotional pain keeping our nervous system locked up. Like literally keeping our nervous system locked up, like we've created a cage for ourselves and we don't know how to get out of it because we're so unconscious to our unconsciousness. We are unconscious to our unconsciousness. That's why this information is priceless, getting this out to more people. That's why I love teaching this. The more you can embody this and share it with other people, it really can save the planet, because we have to learn how this stuff works. Now, samskaras and shadow work continued. So the storehouse of samskaras confuses our perception of the world and oneself because they are unconscious. People inaccurately assume their blind manifestations are part of their character, and that cannot be changed. And this is the part that I love about being a coach, because when I listen to people, like listen deeply at a soul level, I can help people figure out where these samskaras are affecting them, or how their shadow is actually running their life. You can listen, don't listen to what people say, listen to the rate, the pitch, the tone, the inflection, the power words. That tells you what's going on at a subconscious level that's limiting somebody from attracting the health, the wealth, and the life that they actually deserve. And it's all held within your nervous system, you guys. We all have to work on this stuff in order to release it, right? To work on emptying our cup. Now, it also affects our perception of good or bad is actually more determined by our accumulation of samskaras, meaning we judge new experiences based upon our samskaras, our traumas, or our shadow, rather than what's actually happening. So there's a term we use in neuro-linguistic programming. Is many people, we explain to them in the neuro-linguistic programming, is the map is not the territory. So what happens is, if you have a trauma from your past, let's say one of you guys triggers me, I'll be so triggered and I'll actually go unconscious, pull out my map from my childhood and start reliving my childhood wound through you. Some of you may have experienced this in past relationships, where like you trigger somebody and then all of a sudden there's like a new person there. You're like, who is this person? Or you've been triggered. You're like, what? Where did that come from? That came from me? It's because you haven't done your inner work enough. Even I'm still working on this, you guys. Things still trigger me, even as I'm teaching this to you guys. But I have this awareness like, oh, I've been triggered. My old map comes up, but I'm still able to stay present instead of working through that old map. And those old maps are great clues for our healing too. That's why this wisdom is truly priceless and has the power to heal the whole planet if we can get more people on these Zoom calls and tuning in. So please tell your friends to join us next week too. So other reasons why it's holding us back. Without compassionate inquiry, these samskaras are shadow aspects of our psyche, and psyche means soul in Greek. These shadow aspects of our psyche can lead to a range of psychological and mental health problems. Like doctors won't know how to heal you. Like anybody ever been to the doctor? Like, we don't know what's going on. We can't fix you. It's like, try all these things, do all these tests. Oftentimes, you guys, it's deeply suppressed emotions, anger, guilt, shame, stuff repressed deep within your psyche. Nicholas, can you let Annette in? So let's keep rocking here. Oh yeah, one last part to this slide. So this is what's called making the unconscious conscious. Because when we pretend not to feel emotional sensation, It severs our connection between body and mind. Let me say that again, because that's freaking gold. This is what's called making the unconscious conscious, because when we pretend not to feel emotional sensation, it severs our connection between body and mind. There's an actual term for this in psychology called alexithymia, an inability to recognize or describe one's own emotions. And you guys, this is rampant in society today. You know, I work mostly with women. I do have some men that I work with, but I can't tell you how many men need to start feeling and expressing their emotions, because it's killing them inside, and women too. I just tend to work with more women, so I get more women talking with me about their stuff. I love when I finally get men to actually feel some of those emotions. It could save their life. So you don't feel your emotions, you guys, it slowly kills you from within. Got to feel it to heal it. Now, connecting with the Tao. The Tao gravitates towards that which is empty. If you're taking notes, please write that down. The Tao gravitates towards that which is empty. So when you empty your cup and you empty your mind, you're creating space for the Tao or God, your higher self, to actually come in and provide you support. Emptiness reveals our true nature and sets us free from the shackles of the mind created by attachment to our separate dualistic ego self, our knowable past, and samskaras creating our future. That little nugget right there is freaking gold. Fasting the mind and allowing the nervous system to reset through cultivating Wu Wei. This is a regular practice, you guys. When you're doing like the simple meditation, I'm going to share with you guys at the end here. Super simple, but it like saved my life and some of my clients' lives. When you learn how to just boom, you can regulate your nervous system instantly. Learning to perceive what is real and unreal. Let me say it again. Learning to perceive what is real and unreal in our own minds. Like I said, if you have an old operating system, like a map in your unconscious, and you get triggered and your old map comes out, you're not actually present. And this happens. That's why I love teaching shadow work. So when I teach people how to do their shadow work, you begin to recognize other people projecting their shadow onto you. You guys, this is saved marriages, like some relationships with people's parents, because they realize, oh, I triggered my mom, and now my mom's shadow just showed up in this conversation, right? But you're not gonna be able to do what I just said if you haven't done your inner work, you guys. You know, like oh, my book's free on Spotify. You can buy it for $20 online on Amazon. I'm not trying to be salesy. Like, I really love seeing the change that people get when they actually do their shadow work. And if you need additional support, please reach out. I do one-on-one coaching and quantum energy healing. I can test your chakras as well. But coming back to the point, this is called viveka, learning to perceive what is real and unreal in our minds. It's also known as a pure state of awareness known as purusha, or non-identification and non-reacting. Vairagya. I always say that wrong. Hopefully I didn't butcher it. Okay, so I'm going to say this one more time because it's so important. Learning to perceive what is real and unreal in our minds. This is viveka. A pure state of awareness, purusha, or non-identification and non-reacting. I still react sometimes, you guys, for sure. I still get triggered and I still react. But because of my meditation practice, I'm able to slow down enough and stay present. That's why your meditation practice, I used to be a fitness instructor, still do some fitness coaching. They say yang energy is fitness, yin energy is stillness. We want to be able to know which energy I need in this moment. Do I need to be moving my energy or sitting with my energy? And the more you practice these tools, that's when you're working in harmony with the Tao. And this word, vairagya, literally means not getting stirred up. It means being in a state of mind that reveals the newness and originality of the unfolding of each moment. Ooh, that sounded juicy. Let me say it again. Vairagya literally means not getting stirred up. It's being in a state of mind that reveals the newness and originality of the unfolding of each moment. Essentially, it's like Zen. A Zen monk is essentially you're living as a small child. Each moment is new and fresh and exciting. You can be in that state consistently if you cultivate these practices. So what essentially is fasting the mind? As I've talked about a bunch already, it's a balanced yin and yang nature of the mind and body. Water is a great example because water always seeks the lowest path. It puts out fingers. What is the lowest path? The path of least resistance, the path of least resistance. That's why understanding this yin presence is so powerful. Moving water, right? If water's moving, okay, it's essentially more yang energy. Water that's constantly moving begins to break away the earth and tears up roots from its constant motion. Still water is yin energy. When water becomes, and there's a side effect to that too. If water becomes too still, it can become stagnant. That's why we have to have a balance between this moving water and stillness as well. And that's when we have harmony, knowing, do I need to move this energy or do I need to sit with it? And that's when we have that balance between this yin and these yang energies. We create harmony, and that's when the Tao begins to move through us. And most of society today, as I mentioned earlier, is too much in the yang energy. We need more yin. In still water, we see our reflection. We can see below the surface and our lives in unique ways. In this stillness, we can rest, heal, reflect, and grow. And that's the key thing here, is learning how to create stillness in a world where we're so overstimulated, you guys. It's quite literally saved my life and helped me with my own mental health too. How do I just instantly calm my energy field down? So a few more tips on here. The more we can remain in Purusha or Atman, which is pure awareness, the less our mental activity has power over us. The less our mental mind chatter, right? So many of my clients, I'm in my head too much, hear it all the time. All my clients, in my head too much, my head too much. You're over-identified with your ego. You feel separate. You don't feel connected. It's the frequency of thought, feelings, and emotions begins to diminish as our internal landscape becomes increasingly quiet. This is why your meditation practice is so important. Do instantly quiet your mind. The water becomes calm. Your body, made of water, you'll be able to see things, feel things that you're not when your energy is up in your head. It's living life with a lighter mind, letting go of your personality. Personality, the root of the word personality is persona, meaning mask. It's like you take this mask off. Oh, that's who I've been showing up as. You take that mask off, feeling at ease in each moment and flowing through life. This is the way, aka Wu Wei. Other important tools for how to fast the mind: purify your diet, reduce or eliminate drugs and alcohol from your life. These are what feed a busy mind. And the only way to heal our pain is to be conscious of it. For years, I used drugs, alcohol, TV, anything to not feel my pain. It just got worse and worse and worse. And that energy, that pain will keep getting louder until you actually do the inner work. Also, reducing use of digital devices, computer, phone, television. This allows the mind to deeply rest and create a space of what's known as equanimity, balance amongst chaos, where our mind/body can settle. Like here I am using technology because I love the opportunity to share my message with the world. But after this call, I'm going to go have some soup. I'm going to go sit outside and meditate and get my feet on the earth and ground myself, because I'm really keen to practicing what I preach. We have this great quote here. The mind is like water. When it is turbulent, it is difficult to see. When it's calm, everything becomes clear. Prasad Mahesh. That's the key to emptying the mind. Fasting the mind is creating that degree of emptiness and knowing how to create that emptiness at any moment. Okay. So the art of fasting the mind. Quick sip of my drink here. Thank you, everybody tuned in on TikTok, Facebook Live. Hello, hello. So fasting the mind, this is interesting, you guys. Fasting the mind is easier said than done. Paradoxically, it's really not all that hard either. Okay, it's actually really easy. It's just training yourself to do it. It's the easiest thing in the world because your true nature is an empty, liberated mind. And liber means to free. Some of you guys you're like on this call. Some of you on this call, you are in a prison that your mind has created because you over-identify with your ego. If you look at the logo for my company, it's a square and a circle. When you're over-identified with your ego, you're just a square. Sharp edges, very masculine energy. I am who I am, living in a box. Everything is squares. Money is squares. Houses are squares. Everything's square. And you're not operating like that circle that's inside the box. You want to square the circle. If you really know the deep esoteric teachings, you know what that means, squaring the circle. So that's the key thing here, is it's the easiest thing in the world because your true nature is an empty, liberated mind. This is actually who you're truly meant to be. It's actually been sitting right under your nose all along. That's why the word gnosis, right? The root of the word gnosis, it's my nose. It's like sitting right in front of me, right? If you ever studied Gnosticism, it's sitting right in front of your nose. The whole discipline is the dissolution of our personality, right? It's like taking that mask off. Remember, persona means mask, taking that mask, like who am I really showing up as? You're not going to access that state of mind unless you slow down your internal state, your internal world, regulate your nervous system, and empty that cup. So I love teaching this stuff, right? If you need extra support, please let me know, reach out. Now, original nature is pure and liberated, being here in the now, which is Brahman or Tao, and also a state of enlightenment. And for me, the word enlightenment, you look at the word, just en, which is in, light, which is in the mind. And it's the inner light of the mind. It's like when you have all this baggage you're carrying from your past, you're like, why am I carrying all this baggage? You actually do your shadow work. You let go of all the baggage. Boom. Now you're experiencing enlightenment. I'm oversimplifying it, but that's really what it is. When you're not, oh my God, my past. Oh my God, the future. Oh my God, what's gonna happen? Wow, wow. Like, okay, let all that go and train yourself to be in this present moment. Like I said, the meditation I'm going to show you guys at the end here helps you to cultivate this, fasting the mind. Empty your mind and be shapeless. So I have a few Eastern definitions I want to go with you guys before we finish here. We're going to get done a little bit earlier today so I can go back to hang with my family. But here's some great Eastern definitions. Either do a screenshot or write these down. I always say written once is 10 times read. So Atmana Purusha, the spiritual life principle of the universe, the real self or soul. Brahman, the ultimate reality of the universe, where there's no beginning or end, when you're really just in this moment, right? They say a true alchemist is dying and being reborn every second, dying and being reborn every second, a true alchemist. So why would you be attached if you're constantly dying and being reborn? And a great book I read on quantum psychology said that there's like so many frames happening per second. You're like dying and being reborn like 24 times a second. You can't even pick it up because it's happening so fast, right? There is no beginning or end. Dharma, an individual's duty or nature being fulfilled in service to humanity. As they say in Buddhist philosophy, you shouldn't have any attachments except for being attached to being in service of humanity. I think that's really powerful. Viveka, we talked about this earlier. The spiritual guru, Vivekananda, right? Or what's his name? Yogananda, right? And that's the next one's bliss. So Viveka, discrimination between what is real and not real in the mind. As I mentioned, that word gnosis, it's all sitting in front of your nose. Then the word Ananda, like Yogananda, the great guru. Ananda means bliss. It's extreme happiness or bliss. It's like literally like you just finished meditating for an hour and you realize like, I am not who I always thought I was. I'm actually here now. You've just meditated for an hour. You forgot everything going on and you are in ultimate bliss. And the more you do that, the more you create that state, you can start tuning your frequency into that higher vibrational state and be in that state all the time, you guys, right? That's the key thing here. The Tao, the irreducible essence of the universe present in the eternal now. Even the word Tao is like the word now. Interesting. Tao, now, right? The more in the now you are, the more connected with the Tao. Pratyahara, turning the mind inward to withdraw from stimulus. Pratyahara, turning the mind inward to withdraw from stimulus. I just thought these definitions are really cool to share with you guys. We got one more page of definitions to finish up here. So Vipassana, seeing things as they actually are. It's called special seeing things as they actually are. Prakriti, primal energy of which matter is composed. There's the essence of all matter is Prakriti. Vamprasthana, forest-dwelling Hindu hermit, the way of the forest. That's me in like 5 years. I'll be living in the woods. Come visit me. Jnana, the path of knowledge and self-realization, a great seer of the divine nature. Okay. Samskara, a mental conformity or karmic tendency shaping one's present life. A mental conformity or karmic tendency shaping one's present life. Vasanas, latent tendencies that function at an unconscious level of the mind. This relates back to the samskaras we were just talking about a moment ago. And then we have Shrivatsa, which is the endless knot, the symbol of eternal time, nirvana and samskara. And I actually got one of these. I gave it to my parents for their anniversary this year, a little model of this picture. And that's the Shrivatsa. So let's finish things up here. In conclusion, Wu Wei is the art of non-doing. It's the art of effortless living. Fasting the mind allows us to be aware of our dualistic mind, like the separateness. I'm separate from everything. You're not separate from everything. That's just you being stuck in duality. Samskaras, and where your attachment to self is keeping you stuck unconsciously. Empty your mind and be like water. A cup is only useful because of the space within it. And the same thing with your body, okay? Your body must become an empty vessel for the Tao to flow through.
Oh, foam.
Oh, please mute yourself. The only way to heal our pain is to become conscious of it and transmute it.
Right now?
We're just finishing up, so whoever you are,
And
please.
then you want me to get something. Hmm?
So just to finish up here, okay? Next month, we're going to be going into the yin and yang of Taoism. If you want to get more information, as I mentioned, we have the free school you can join. We also have our Inner Circle program. You get access to all the recordings. Please check out my book. It's free on Spotify. My dad and I finished this recording last year. You can listen to my audiobook for free if you have a Spotify account, or it's $20 on Amazon. Also, check me out on social media. I'm consistently posting all kinds of amazing content to support you guys on your healing path. And booyah. Any questions or comments? Kind of banged through that today, but it was good stuff. And thank you for everybody who tuned in on TikTok. So anybody have anything they want to share before we go into the meditation? What did you learn? Was there any big takeaways? Do you guys understand what samskaras are? I'm just closing out my live feeds here. Any questions? Any comments? Anybody? Any big takeaways? Jennifer, you got anything you want to share? You always have good stuff to share, Jennifer.
It really was inspirational as far as wanting to delve deeper into meditation practice. And it brought new meaning also to yoga and some of the slower forms of exercise and mind-body connection and even dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, movement of the body. And so I was thinking about those things.
Love it. Well, that comes back to regulating the nervous system, right?
Right.
We're like, I feel like the biggest challenge, and this, I'm including myself in this too, there's so much advancement in technology, like our minds can't keep up. So you have to take time. It's like, oh, there's a new form of AI coming out, which it's not bad, but if like you're constantly staring at screens and overstimulated, what do you think's gonna happen to your nervous system? And that's why we have such a problem, is that not enough people are taking the time to slow down. Right. And so that's like the essence of everything that we're teaching here, is like, how do you remove yourself and come back into your body consistently and making that a regular habit?
Absolutely. And the breathing and slowing one's breathing so that it's deep and embodied.
Exactly. Most people are only doing shallow breathing, and that's disconnecting them from their soul and their spirit. Very powerful stuff. Thank you, Jennifer. Anybody else want to share before we do a little meditation practice to finish up today? We had a good turnout today. Number of people in here. Love it. Yeah. All right. So let's finish up with a short meditation. And I'm going to go eat dinner with my family. Woo, woo. All right. So we're just going to do a little bit of central channel breathing, and then we're going to tune into our heart space for a little bit. So you don't have to have your camera on, but we're going to, as I always say, everything that I teach is really cool and all that stuff, but it's really about embodying what I teach. So we're going to do what's called central channel breathing. This is part of what I was just teaching you guys on the call today, is like operating from this Taoist perspective, bringing your energy out of your head and bringing it down into your body, or what's called your lower dantian, right? So can you hold your awareness deep in this space in your belly? So you don't have to have your camera on. Well, I'm going to stopwatch, I have to time this. But let's do a little meditation to finish up here. So I'm going to turn off my camera and let's do it. So just go ahead and follow the sound of my voice. Take a nice big inhale into your belly. Exhale down into the earth. Inhale from the earth into your belly. Exhale into the heavens above. Inhale from the heavens into your belly. Exhale down into the earth. Inhale from the earth into your belly. Exhale into the heavens above. Inhale from the heavens into your belly. Exhale down into the earth. And just keep that rhythm going at your own pace. But see if you can hold your attention at that space deep within your belly, just an inch or two below your belly button, that lower dantian. And as you inhale from above or below, Imagine you're charging up that space deep within your belly. On your exhales, imagine you're releasing any energies that do not serve you. Just exhaling stagnant thoughts, emotions, or anything that's holding you back. Just using the power of your mind through the intention with your breath, charging up at the inhales and releasing up to Father Sky or into Mother Earth any energies that do not serve your highest good. Be as forgetful as you can be in the space. Forget who you are. Forget everything going on around you. Forget time exists. Just be in this timeless now, just moving that energy up and down that central channel, clearing out all of your chakras, clearing out your energetic body. It's almost like taking an energetic shower. And just see if you can be this beautiful bridge, bringing heaven and earth into your body and using your breath as a conduit for bringing those energies into the center of your being, deep within your belly. If any thoughts arise for you, just imagine they're like clouds in the sky. Just let them blow away with the wind and keep holding your attention in that space deep within your belly. Just see how deeply you can surrender your mind fully into your body, letting go of all thoughts, all attachments, and any striving for anything in life. Just simply be here now. Just keep tapping into that vast and limitless awareness. Imagining your body is like a drop of water in the vast ocean of consciousness, and just feel your connection to everything. Breathing into that lower dantian, that space within the belly. Imagine you're charging it up like a battery deep within your belly with those inhales. You could even imagine that you have this magnetic battery deep within your pelvic bowl. And as you inhale and charge up that space and then releasing, letting go at the exhales, imagine with each inhale, you're charging up this magnetic battery. It's this powerful magnet deep within your belly. And as you charge it up, all things that you are truly worthy of, the health, the wealth, and the relationships that you truly deserve are effortlessly being attracted to you now. You can't draw them to you when you're in your head, but just bring the feeling and the awareness of everything that you are truly worthy of being effortlessly drawn to that sacral space deep within your belly, and just feeling the power of whatever dreams you have manifesting effortlessly for you. Imagine them unfolding, what it would feel like to have that relationship, to have that job, to go on that vacation, to attract the wealth that you deserve, to make all your dreams come true. And just feel that deeply in that energetic space, deep within the belly, charging up with the inhales, releasing any stagnation with the exhales. Just see how deeply you can tap into this beautiful state of pure awareness, Purusha. Just feel yourself in that beautiful, receptive state, knowing the whole universe is moving through you at this time. Just feeling this sense, this presence of loving awareness, feeling so deeply calm and connected, surrendering and trusting the universe by holding your attention deep within that sacral or sacred space, deep within your belly. And just keep breathing into that space, charging it up, holding your awareness deep within the belly. And I'd like for you to begin to imagine that your body is like a tree, that your hips and belly is the tree trunk. And as you exhale into the earth below, imagine growing these stronger roots. As you exhale into the heavens above, imagine growing these stronger branches. And to see how deeply you can connect with Mother Earth and Father Sky, holding your awareness deep within the belly, and just moving that energy up and down that central channel. Imagine those roots extending deep into Mother Earth. Imagine them going all the way down to the very core of the earth and just drawing up this nourishing, grounding Mother Earth energy into your body and healing you. And imagine those branches extending all the way up into the heavens, into outer space, connecting you with Father Sky, and feeling this expanding consciousness coming out in both directions from that belly. And just see how much you can completely surrender into this present moment. Imagine you've completely disappeared and there's only this presence through your breath, where you are connected to the limitless. The entire quantum field moves through you. And your breath is but a conduit for bringing that energy into your physical being, completely forgetting who you are. Just feeling that presence, feeling that essence, and just feeling it growing stronger with each and every breath. Feeling the power that you hold to co-create your reality within this divine realm of human consciousness. And just continuing to work with that beautiful image of the tree. Keep growing those roots, keep working with those branches. We're also working with this image within your subconscious mind. So when you're ever in a stressful situation, you can recall this meditation and completely ground yourself, feel safe in your body. And just continue to imagine cultivating that image of the tree, clearing out that central channel, bridging heaven and earth together through you. You are the fifth element, the quintessence. And just breathing into that energetic space, maybe relaxing your shoulders and your face just a little bit more. And just feeling the power that you hold in that sacred, sacral space deep within your belly. And we'll do about 1 more minute of central channel breathing. Just keep relaxing, enjoying one breath at a time. And just feeling this beautiful, calming presence throughout. A few more breaths to go. Just see how slow you can go with these last few breaths. Just relaxing as deeply as you can. And now to finish our meditation, I'd like for everybody, I'd like to do a little group healing for the planet. If you feel called, place one or both hands over the center of your chest and just tune into your heart space. And just tune into feeling your heart opening up and the power that you hold when your heart is open. And just breathe into that experience for a few breaths, just feeling your heart opening up like a blossoming flower in the morning dew when the sunlight hits it, like a beautiful rose just opening up, feeling those petals opening up. And as you tune into your heart, feeling its presence opening up more fully, I like for everyone in the group to imagine everybody's heart on planet Earth opening up simultaneously. So just everybody tuning into the energy of your heart space, and imagine the hearts of all beings on Earth opening up together. And we'll do 1 minute of silence, just tuning into that experience of your heart opening and everybody's heart opening up, and just tune into this beautiful presence of silence for 1 minute. Beautiful work today, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. As I mentioned, we do these calls every Thursday. We're going to be finishing up 5-element theory this next week and then getting into the 5 spirits of alchemy next month. Definitely recommend tuning into that stuff. Powerful wisdom. If you like any more information about the Academy, please reach out to me. I feel like I'm pretty sure I'm connected to everybody here on the call, but I'll also just drop in the chat box one more time, the free school community that you can join. But I always like to finish our calls by reminding you guys that the work you do on yourself doesn't just heal you, it heals the collective of humanity. So keep doing the work, reach out if you need support, and please invite whoever you know who you think would benefit from these calls. I used to have these calls, it was behind a paywall, and now I'm just getting out to as many people as possible. And the reason you'd pay is to get access to the recordings. But if you join the school community, you get access to all the notes and a bunch of my recordings for free there. Keep up the great work, my friends. I'll see you guys next week. We'll be back home in the Bay Area. But thank you all so much. I'm truly honored to support you on your healing path. Have a great day.